Yes, absolutely. And hello, welcome to the program.
Yes. Truth in advertising tonight. Nonsense and junk. Junk will be talked about. Monkeys will be a part of it as well. Hot takes aplenty. So truth in advertising with tonight's show. I'm excited.
We've got plenty to cover this evening. And of course, we always want to hear from you. Either leave your comments below and we'll pop you up on the screen, or you can call us at 707-4MONKEY. That's 707-466-6539. And, you know, we were dogging pretty hard on the president last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was because it was weird. It was weird. Everything about him is weird. Usually, nothing normal happens in his realm.
And that's really the point of this program. Is we're looking for the nonsense in the world and pointing it out and saying, hey, there's a little bit of nonsense going on in the world.
Correct. Yes. We're equal opportunity nonsense. Because notice I said I'm excited about tonight's show, because coming up here in mere moments after this initial clip, there was a bad choice of words by this gentleman right here.
Right.
The nation's librarian who's saying shh to everyone.
I've never understood the half eye thing. I mean, I'm not sure what. I understand. I understand it from an eyeglasses, but just wear glasses that have nothing up here, and just because this there's no way to do this and not look like you're 100 years old.
Correct. That is the universal old nerd pose right there. There's no one ever has shown a sign of strength with their glasses like this.
I'll tell you a true
story.
story.
Ever been from a position of strength.
When I was in 4th grade was when I got glasses, and it was more for reading and not for distance, and so they said you need bifocals, which is kind of crazy.
Is what they call them now.
What the what?
Progressives. Because that's what I had. Yeah. Well, when I went into the eye doctor and like, well, the stigmatism's going a little that, you're going to need a little here, a little there. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm old. I need bifocals. They're like, it's progressives now. It's not bifocals. But
which is just bifocals without a line. Anyway,
yes,
and I kid you not, the eye doctor said, well, one option would be to get bifocals. The other option is you could do the half eyes thing.
No.
In 4th grade.
Yeah, no. You're like Benjamin Button at that point.
You're
like 85 years old in 4th grade at that point.
I was already getting picked on enough as it was. For God's sakes, Doc.
You didn't need this noise.
This 4th grader walking around. Well, hello.
Let me pull out my Constitution here real quick.
I mean, kids wearing glasses still to this day get hassled. They certainly did when we were growing up.
Oh, big time.
So just getting glasses alone was a thing. Could you imagine this idiot walking into class? Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, fellow youths. What is down? What is happening? Do you like that disco we're experiencing? Yikes.
So you had identified a moment in a Chuck Schumer press conference, and just through the serendipity of the universe, I also found a moment in a Chuck Schumer press conference, and this is potentially egregious. I am surprised as to what has happened here, as the senator was trying to talk about all the things that are going on with the Trump, and he's doing the cut and the thing, and everybody's upset. And during the press conference, his cell phone rings.
Oh no,
that's not the problem.
Putting someone like Russell Vought at OMB, the architect of Project 2025, is a huge danger sign to America. Nope. No.
Oh no! He has a flip phone.
Well, yeah. Again, that's not the issue, Mike.
Okay, sorry. I'm not surprised he has a flip. No, I'm surprised that he's a step up from a jitterbug. He seems old enough to where he just has the jitterbug. Like, I can call my kids and I can call 911, but I can't call anybody else.
Totally fair observation that he's got a flip phone, and that is important. But that's not the issue here. Watch what happens next.
Okay, sorry.
No. My grandson lost his first tooth. It's a very big occasion. And I told his mother to put $10 under his pillow. I used to get a quarter.
just screwed the tooth fairy for his grandson.
Oh my! I didn't think about that. I thought you were going to go with the inflation route of like $10 seems a lot for the first tooth.
And look, there's several things we can discuss about this clip: the flip phone, the $10 for.
You're right. He did. He ruined the tooth fairy.
And you can see on the far left there, Senator, I forget who that is, Belkin, something like is from Oregon. He picked up on it right away, like, hey, zhuzh. You just, I mean, all right.
You just ruined it for your kid.
Good for the kid good for the kid for getting $10.
Yes, that's impressive.
But mom doesn't put the money under the pillow, idiot.
And what is he doing telling her to do that? Isn't it her kid?
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's a fair point, too. It's like, yeah, and here's $10 from Grandpa Shooms.
That's how you have to frame it. Be like, but now you've set a precedent. Right. If you go that route of every time you lose a tooth fairy gives you one price, and the tooth fairy would, in theory, would have to outdo Grandpa Shooms.
Yeah.
Right? If Grandpa Shooms giving you 10 for the tooth, and the tooth fairy's collecting the thing, tooth fairy's now got to give you 15.
This is beyond outrageous. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff going on in government today, but this one, you can't just be doing that.
No, you can't be ruining fantasy for kids. You sure as hell shouldn't still be having a flip phone. And and may I add, is losing first tooth worthy of having to have a speed dial phone conversation? Is that something that needs to be in the moment? Yes, that's a phone tree situation. That is notify the grandparents right away.
I think you do. I think that's a big deal. That's a big deal. The first tooth is a big deal. You let folks know. Yeah, you could probably do it with a text, but again, consider who you're texting.
He couldn't read it. He couldn't read it. That is such a small print. He would need Harry Carey sized glasses just to read a text.
Yeah, he's got to reply by typing the letters 3 times on each number.
That's the worst. Yeah. Oh God, that's the worst. Yeah, I did like those comments there from Frank and Mark there. And correct, no mom lets their kids watch this. They shouldn't anyway, even if it is grandpa.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a very big occasion. And I told his mother to put $10 under his pillow. I used to get a quarter. All right.
I just noticed the guy on the left.
Yeah, he picked up on it right away. He knew that was wrong.
He's like, shh, what are you doing?
Press conference is over. Sorry. No more questions. We need to go, Mr. Senator.
Get him off the stage. Get him off the stage. He said too much.
Yeah, that's when his chief of staff runs out and says, "That's it. Enough questions. I'm sorry. We got to go. No more questions. No more questions." And you drag him out like the Secret Service.
Did he release a statement afterwards saying, I did not say $10. I just wrote a note that this is his first tooth and advised through a committee that the tooth fairy should appropriate $10 for the tooth?
Nice going, idiot.
Well, if you think that's bad, and it is, there are certain words a guy who looks like Schumer shouldn't ever say, and we shouldn't have to hear him say them. There were many different words that he could have used in this particular situation. And I understand people were rightfully outraged about a certain executive order that transpired. That's neither here nor there. It's the choice of vocabulary for Shooms. Someone get him a thesaurus, because this is a poor turn of phrase for Grandpa Shooms here.
But the roots of democracy are deep. People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of trying to get this done. So, yes, I think democracy will have an effect. And
Could we go back? Can we just, once again, those are words you never need to see or hear a guy like him say. You could have said they're invigorated. They're so excited.
Motivated.
They are motivated. They are empowered. They all those things. But instead you choose people are aroused. I haven't seen people this aroused for a very long. Not since Deep Throat have I seen people this aroused. And I remember I was there for that. Grandpa Shooms, what are you saying?
Papa
People
Shooms.
are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Great edit, whoever did that. I love that edit because I would feel the same way. They're energized, they're emboldened, they're boosted. The last thing you want to say is they're aroused.
Yeah.
I've not seen people, because let's face facts. Politics may be a lot of things in our world. It should not arouse you in any way. It may anger you, it may upset you, it may excite you, it may be embolden you, it may motivate you, but in no way watching this or hearing, executive order, I'm aroused, should not be what you feel.
And that is, you're right, that is the look of a person going, that was the word? That was the word you chose?
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
You know, you know who's not aroused? That
Me.
guy. That guy is not aroused.
Nothing
because
arousing about this.
if I even felt a little aroused, hearing Chuck Schumer say aroused immediately gets rid of my aroused.
Yeah, I mean, there's controversy afoot, and it's not where you think it is.
No,
is that fair to say?
No, exactly. Correct. I would be fair to say, indeed. But on the topic of arousal and older individuals who shouldn't be talking about such things, let us introduce you to Mr. Mike here. I think we have a photo of this particular gentleman that we can share with the audience.
Is his name Mike?
Yeah, his name is...
Like Magic Mike?
Like Magic Mike. Yeah, Mike Stratton, a.k.a. the Hustler from Wigan. He's been in the game for over 30 years as a male stripper. He is now in his mid-50s. I take it back. Pardon me. He is near 60, and he said he's been in the industry for 40 years.
Okay.
So
back when they were just using balloons.
Right. Exactly. And now he...
And feathers.
Correct. Back when you had to spin the Nickelodeon in order to... I'm going too slow there. I need to speed it up a little bit more. That's when this gentleman started. Right. That's a
we'll
look.
Keep coming back to this.
That is the correct. That's the correct look for Mike Stratton here. And that quote that started the article is basically saying that he believes, some people believe that the younger folks nowadays don't want to see the male take it all the way off and that they're more reserved. And he's going, that's not the case at all. The young people also like the full Monty. In fact, that is something that he said didn't happen until that movie came out. And he bemoans the fact that now he has to, otherwise he gets booed off stage, is what he shared. He said, if you don't get to the full Monty, the women sort of get disappointed and are like, boo, get your... Is that really the case?
I don't think so. See, I thought the reason women went to see male strippers was that girlfriend experience, and they giggle and they woo and they do all their things. They're not there for the arousal bit of it.
I don't believe they are. I don't believe that they are hooting and hollering to be like, yep, take it all the way off, Mike Stratton.
Give us a call at 707-4-MONKEY, please. That's 707-466-6539.
And by the way, kudos to sticking with any career for 40 years. But at what point does it go from, okay, it's a way to make money and pay for college, to now it's just kind of getting sad that you're still doing it at this age, Mr. Hustler, as it were?
Well, once upon a time, Mike and I had a radio show, and we were deemed too good for radio. And but one of the things that would happen, there would be like these feature strippers who would come to town and perform at the local the Jiggle and Bounce.
Yes.
And so we would interview these touring strippers, and none of them were young. Is that fair?
Yes. Some of them were. The looks could be deceiving. Yeah, as one would say, and good on them to staying in shape. But at some point, don't you have to diversify your career opportunities?
Well, and they were all very talented, and
Yes.
they were doing, this was a career. It wasn't just a But they all kind of had the sense of, there is a date on the calendar where I cannot do this anymore. Not because I don't want to, not because I'm not able to, but just because there's just a date where you go, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, you would think. By the way, Mr. Hustler says he calls the adrenaline that he gets from being on stage a youth drug. He says, these days when my agent phones me up, do you want to do this birthday gram? I'll ask, how old is she? If they're under 25, I'll say, listen, that's a bit young for me. Hey, good on him. He has standards. He's like, you know what? I'm well into my 50s. I don't want to go anyone under 25. He goes, but I'm all over the pensioners. They love me. To anybody over 50, I'm like catnip. So he knows his audience, understands what's going on.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
All right, Chuck, shut up.
When this guy shows up, the pensioners are aroused aplenty. He also went on to say that he really enjoys when the older pensioners are in a wheelchair. He says he can do a lot with that. Like, it makes it a little bit more mobile. He can spin them around and really show off all that he has to do.
Well, I'm still trying to decipher this whole sentence. I'm a male stripper, and it's nonsense that woke hens don't want men doing the full Monty. What's he saying?
Basically, what he was saying that the woke young people still want to see old man penis is basically, in so many words. He's basically saying, don't think that they don't want to see it. If I don't go that route, they boo me off the stage. And in fact, correct. That is the correct reaction.
I don't think they ever wanted to see it.
No. By the way, he is happily married to his wife, Donna. Okay. So, yeah, so she goes along with him. He's writing a new book, by the way. We can maybe get him on the show at some point. My Life as a Male Stripper is set to be released at the end of 2025.
Okay. No, I'd be interested. Yeah, because it doesn't seem to be. Look, we look silly when we're naked. That's just, there's no way around that. And
men even more so. It's just...
I'm talking about men. Women are curvy and soft, and it's nice and pretty.
Yeah.
Men just look stupid. We just got this, dumb trunk dangling around here.
And even the most sultry of men, still, I don't think that's quite the art of seduction, right? The guy, to your point, I don't think that women get out of it what men do when they go to see a female stripper. You pick up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, I do. And I don't even, I don't know the answer to this. And again, please leave a comment or call. I'm not entirely convinced gay men want to see other men flopping around. I don't think so. But I could be completely wrong about that.
Well, yeah,
I'm not happy about this conversation either, sir.
No, I'm not either. I don't know if you have to. I don't know if I believe him if you don't go all the way, you get booed off stage. I just don't know if I don't know if I believe that. I don't know. Yeah. And kudos to him for being in the biz for 40 years. I'm assuming other parts of him at his age dangle farther than the other floppy bit, so he doesn't have to worry about it. So there's that part of the equation for old the hustler, Mr. Mike Stratton, going on there. But yeah, kudos to you, sir. That's dedication to your craft for certain.
If you are a male stripper, I would imagine you need to carry some insurance on that valuable package.
Oh, you would have to.
Yeah, and something I don't think this random guy did. This is an incredible, horrifying story.
Yeah, TMZ waits for stars outside of airports to get quick sound bites, but they also bring us stuff like this. It's basically
exclusive. They're very proud of this story. Exclusive.
Yes, exclusive. Welcome into Alberta, Canada. And that's where this story takes place. They do you the favor of blurring things out. They say police in Alberta tell them that the man in the clip got intoxicated and began arguing with people inside the East Village Pub and Eatery on Sunday, January 12th. Cops then say the dispute spilled out into the street where the guy's pants fell down while fighting with some of the bar's patrons. So you got to pull up your pants, bro. If you're going to go into a fight, you got to pull up your pants. So
what's happening in a fight that your pants come off? How? You're like Charlie Brown on the mound catching a fastball. Everything goes flying.
There's that, or maybe people were wanting the full Monty. I'm not quite sure.
Could be.
So his pants fall down, and when your pants fall down, you don't really have a great sense of balance. During the confrontation, he then topples to the ground, and because if you played football growing up in the generation I did, if it got cold, you're always told the two warmest places in your body are under your pits and in your crotch. That's where you stick your hand to warm them up. So because the crotchal area is so warm and it was so cold outside, when he fell down, his penis attached to the ice.
Oh, God.
That's when they had to call first responders in, who somehow managed to attach the penis without injuring him before he was then arrested.
So some poor fireman had to get down there and just like hold it in place while somebody else threw some rock salt at it or something. How do you do this? Did they explain how it?
They said, of course, hot water is usually the way to unglue a body part from the frozen tundra, though we don't think this guy wants anyone coming at him with a boiling pot.
No.
So, correct. They had to use like some type of salt, and an individual had to kind of make sure. Now, what they were also explaining at one point, it was like a Stretch Armstrong.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
He's lucky he wasn't. If he was aroused for the fight, he would have been stuck there forever.
Right.
That would have been much more difficult because they said he was like Stretch Armstrong. They initially just thought, okay, we can just, and they were pull, and it was just kind of, you heard like the, and they're like, oh, no, that's going to be skin. And then it whoosh, right back and whoosh, right back. Yes, that is the correct, right there. That is the correct look of disdain and what the hell is going on here.
Yeah. Wow. I can't. Yeah. If he was aroused, they could have maybe spun him around. Just give him, give him a good push.
If
like
he was
a gyroscope.
aroused, I don't know. He wouldn't have fell flat if he was aroused. He may have done like a breakdancing move or just kind of like spin around like a top, and he would have. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a little stronger than Skinamax there, Frank. By the way, as far as the version of this particular story, but didn't know that's something that could happen. Thankfully, the member was relatively unscathed, but kudos to those first responders who get the call of, yeah, Bruce, this is John at the East Village Bar. You're never going to believe this. Guy's penis is stuck to the ice outside my establishment. Can you get somebody over here to extract that for me? Thanks.
This is all I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let it be Schumer. He would talk about arousal at that point.
People are aroused. Well, we've all had the, certainly when you were a kid and before you were heading somewhere, mom or dad would say, get in the bathroom before we got to go because we're not going to stop, and off we go. Was your dad maniacal about that, about not stopping?
My dad was maniacal about not stopping. My mom was insistent of even if it was, in her words, just a tinkle, get it all out before we go.
Wow. Okay.
Even
so she would say, yeah.
She's like, you'd be like, I just want to have a, you better go. Even if it's just a tinkle, you better go because your dad doesn't want to stop. And it's like, okay, I'll go.
Well, a study has been done from some scientists, some physicists who discovered what's called the, quote, law of urination, highlighting how animals over 6 pounds tend to empty their bladders over a period of 21 seconds. That's your key number there that you got to remember, Mike. It's 21 seconds from
that's a
start to
pee?
finish. That's your normal pee.
That seems lengthy.
Yeah, I guess it does.
That seems longer than average. For an average pee to be 21 seconds, that seems lengthy.
That's a good point. I don't know. I've never really. I kind of zone out when I'm in there.
Yeah, I don't time myself, but 21 seconds seems a bit long for the average time. We've all had those accidental. I don't want to say accidental ones. We've all had the ones where maybe the night before we've enjoyed the festivities a little bit too much, and you wake up the next morning and it's like you're there what seems like for 5 minutes. You feel like you could have read a chapter of a novel, and you're like, how the hell do I have that much built up inside of me? That's always, because then we have to share it with. I don't know about you, but at that point, then I have to share. Be like, you're not going to believe how long I had
Right.
to be in there. It's ridiculous.
Urologist Nicole Eisenbraun said if you time yourself peeing across several sittings and find that you're either falling short or shooting way over 21 seconds, you can't say shooting way over 21 seconds.
No, you can't do that when it comes to I've never seen people more aroused shooting over 21 seconds.
It could be a sign that you're holding it in for too long or going too much.
It has a delicate balance.
Yeah, the average number of times we pass urine each day is 4 to 8 times. I guess that feels right.
That feels right. Morning, afternoon, evening, one before bed, and call it a day.
It says you might go once in the middle of the night if you're over 60. Might go twice if you're under 60. You go once. You might go twice when you're over 60. Hello, we've got a caller who's here on the Mike and Molson show. No?
Hello?
Maybe not. I know we tested the thing. Didn't we test the thing? Yeah,
we did test the thing.
Right.
Oh. Well, if you want to chime in, once again, that number, 4707 Monkey.
That's right. The limit is dictated by the flexibility of your bladder.
Oh, I didn't know it was flexible in that way.
Yeah, everybody likes a good springy bladder.
My bladder does yoga when I'm not looking. It's downward facing dog. Oh, look at it go.
They say, lost my place here. If you got a busy day ahead, you keep peeing every time you go out before you leave the house. It makes sense, given you don't want to get caught on the road. But if it keeps up, it can worsen, and the symptoms can cause an overactive bladder. The occasional exit pee isn't going to cause any dramatic change, but if you consistently pee long before your bladder is sufficiently full, it can train the bladder to stop being so stretchy. So you got to exercise once in a while, Mike.
Yes, stretch that bladder out. Hold it a little bit longer.
Giving you the urge before it's really time. It's not a use it or lose it situation, as you can then retrain your bladder to...
Isn't that a movie? Like Train Your Dragon? Retrain Your Bladder? Is that coming to a theater near us?
And she goes on to say that pee is a remarkable resource when it comes to monitoring your health. And however, the frequency at which we pee can also be an insight. If you have any concerns about the frequency at which you're urinating or what's coming out when you do, it's important to...
I don't know about that sentence.
It's important to discuss with a health professional. Now, we're also discovering that peeing can apparently be contagious.
How so? Like yawning?
At least, kind of like yawning. At least in monkeys, that there might be some contagious pee going on.
Okay. Is it like marking scent thing or something going on? Like, you went there, now it's my turn. I got to mark my territory.
This one graduate student noticed something odd about the primates. She said they seem to have a tendency to urinate around the same time. It reminded me of some human behaviors of going to the bathroom together and got me thinking, could this be one of those contagious behaviors? Yes, like yawning. So she spent over 600 hours watching 20 captive monkeys at an animal sanctuary pee.
That's a lot of hours. That's a lot. That seems correct. Once again, go back to that. That seems more than research. That seems maybe an odd OnlyFans page or something. Like, you're never going to believe the footage I have. Click here for more.
She said, obviously, urination makes a sound, explaining that sometimes easier to hear the chimps going than seeing them. Chimps who observed other chimps urinating were slightly more likely to go themselves.
By the way,
Researchers report.
I feel bad for the chimps. They're just trying to find some private time away. Who's kind of leering in and being like, "Hey, peeing over there? What's going on? What's going on, Chuck?
A clipboard and a stopwatch.
Would you mind, lady? I'm just trying to relieve myself."
According to a report in this week's Current Biology, check out the centerfold. Proximity seemed to matter. Chimps who were closer to each other were more likely to contagiously pee, according to the study. Social rank factored in too. Urination is only slightly contagious behavior in chimps. Only about 10% of urination events appeared to be caught from other chimps within an arm's reach. You should never be within arm's reach of somebody else peeing either.
Well, I mean, sometimes you are, unfortunately, if you go to, like, if they don't have the partitions with the urinals for dudes, there's some guys who just you can't take up 2 urinals while you're peeing. Like you gotta bring it in. You gotta bring it in. You can't man spread over the urinals there. Like that's just not something you need to be doing.
You can't not do it though. I mean, I'd be okay if somebody's like held out to, like crossing guard flags and said, "I'm at this urinal. You can't be here. You can't be here," and they just stood.
Oh, you would? Okay. You know what? I guess I would rather have that than like
I could make a case
everyone.
For that.
I would rather that, I guess, than the worst is if you have to try an angle because you never angle. You never angle. It's always, if you're forced in that situation, it is stall. You can't angle. That just opening things up to just bad news. No one should ever, because you've seen it before when you've walked in, you'd be like, why? No, don't cross the streams. Well, I don't care. You stay straight on or you don't go. You either wait your turn or you go in the stall. You're not angling anywhere.
Yeah, and you can see it on the floor.
Yeah, that's
so one final thing on here is that they said chimps who hear other chimps are about 10% more likely to urinate, which is not a compelling number. Which leads me to believe that this young graduate student standing there obsessed for 600 hours with monkey peeing, something else is going on there. We need an investigation.
We do, very much so, because just all that for 10% to find out just 10%, there's something more to that whole thing. Continuing on.
Look who is back.
Dr. Big Forehead from Project Genesis. Dr. Big Head over there. That son of a bitch. So if you have not been following along, as we are your foremost, we're the foremost authority on monkey news, and we do hate these people. This broke over the summer. There was like 43 monkeys that broke from this research facility, Project Genesis. It was 43 to be to be exact, I should say. They escaped after a caretaker failed to secure the doors. And Alpha Genesis, pardon me, not Project Genesis, Alpha Genesis, which specializes in non-human primate research for biomedical research, then went out and tried to get the monkeys back. And slowly but surely, they were able to bring some back, bring more back, and everything else. But there was still like 4 or 5 that were like, we're not giving up our monkey freedom. And good for them. But as you see by the headline, the few monkeys that were holding out and were doing the old Mel Gibson from The Patriot, they can take our land, but they can't, or not The Patriot, Braveheart, but they can't take our freedom, have now decided, you know what, it's just too damn cold. It's too damn cold. I'd rather have 3 squares a day and be in the warmth.
Right.
They said in November, the police department said it believed the remaining group had likely remained together nearby. The recapture comes after the animals weathered a rare winter storm that brought snow. CNN reached out to Alpha Genesis for comment, but they were like, nope, not going to say anything. In a statement to police, they thanked the community for its support, saying it was a real team and community effort. Police had advised those who encounter the missing monkeys to refrain from interacting with them and immediately call 911. The young primates, all females between 6 and 7 pounds, have never been used for testing and are too young to carry a disease, the police said. So now those who are holding out for freedom are back inside the research facility with Dr. Bighead over there doing God knows what in the alpha genesis situation.
It's like we got some sort of monkey Stockholm syndrome going on, right? They finally said, no, we can't take it anymore. We've got to come back. You were actually our rightful person.
I think it was this. You know what? If they didn't get that rare winter storm, if the snow doesn't show up, I think those monkeys are still out there in the freedom. I think that's what freaked them out.
I think so too.
To hell with this foraging crap and this being cold. I want to go inside where it's warm with the rest of my monkey friends.
I think a monkey could change its name and, wear a mustache or something, and you'd never know that it was the monkey.
Oh,
Get a job at a gas station or something.
Yeah, he's just over there minding his own business, maybe working as a telemarketer. Calls you up. No, I'm not interested in my warranty in my car. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. Off to the next. My apologies, sir.
Right. Yeah, I think a monkey could get away with that.
Very much so.
Finally today, this headline is interesting to me because when you first read it, you go, oh, come on. Las Vegas ice cream truck mistaken for ICE vehicle and was freaking out some Las Vegas residents.
It has ice in the title. You can never be too cautious nowadays. But you're right. Usually the ice cream man is pretty obviously an ice cream man.
Yeah, it's got a clown and yeah.
I mean, some are dicey. There are those that are like the white van from the 80s that just never changed the paint job or taken the stickers off. There's some that look a little sus.
But even at that, though, you don't suspect, hey, this could be a government agent disguised as an ice cream truck.
Especially when they're playing bells as they drive. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Tell me how quickly it becomes apparent as to why people might have been a little concerned when this truck came around the corner.
We know of no ice-related activity here, but that's not stopping a wild rumor spreading involving an ice cream truck.
8 News Now investigator David Charnes live in studio tracking down the truck and its driver. And David, he's not happy.
No, he is not. And what happened here shows how some in our community are on edge about.
Okay.
What in the hell? Why? Why does your ice cream truck look like you're arresting youth?
Right.
Why do you have to be I get the play on it, like, oh, I'm the ice cream patrol, but why make it look exactly like a cop or like a paddy wagon?
Yeah, nothing more fun than a black and white van with a big badge on the side. It says Unit 702.
By the way, if you're serving up things that people put in their mouths, you can't use unit on the side of your truck. If I'm looking what you're selling, it better not be part of unit on there.
Yeah. The reporter goes on, and here comes the local news pun that has to happen.
These impending arrests. You can't spell out ice cream without the word ICE, or in this case, the acronym for the agency leading these arrests, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And this afternoon, posts on social media are leading one business owner to give us the scoop.
Oh, there it was. There it was. Gotta get the scoop.
David
God, I hate every part of that. By the way, if you go back to the beginning of the clip,
sure.
Are they running their own teleprompters? Because they both look like they both look like they're sitting at a couch as a couple going, I want to watch this show. I want to watch that show. I want to watch this show. I want to watch that show.
That's very astute, actually. I first noticed that at our local TV station in Springfield. At Channel 20, as they were starting to do some cuts and some things, they did have a roller mouse on their console there, and so that's exactly what you're absolutely right. That's exactly what's happening.
We know of no ice-related activity here, but that's not stopping a wild rumor spreading involving.
What's the next word?
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the guy,
Mr. Unit.
Yeah, here's the guy who's not at all scary.
ICE and Border Patrol don't use trucks from 1985.
Yeah.
So he's got on a black ball cap with a black jacket, and he's got Terminator glasses wrapping around his head. Jesus,
he does look like he's going to arrest somebody.
Yes, he's got a big cop mustache.
Fu Manchu going on there. Yeah, they don't use trucks from '85.
What's wrong with you thinking we're not? What are you thinking?
The federal
Just looking
government
at a
may
badge on
not
the side.
have a truck
What?
like Billy Settlemyre.
To entice and delight.
Entice, come on. Instead of protect and serve, to entice and delight. I've never seen someone more aroused. Back to that. Correct, sir. Whatever senator that is, he's been right this entire show.
And there's a good reason why.
I'm an ice cream man. That's it.
You heard that right. Settlemyre drives an ice cream truck that looks like a police vehicle. It's complete with a fake badge on the side. But look closely. In the Las Vegas Ice Cream Patrol may be home to more
Look closely.
chocolate bars than metal ones.
So I wanted to build something creative for my community. Nice and clean and approachable. Safe for kids.
This guy should not be here.
He should
Come
not
on,
be near
Billy.
children. Oh, nice and clear, safe for kids. So, want to look like a cop.
Just wanted it to be fun. Aren't you having fun? You want a
I'm
dilly
here to
bar?
I'm here to entice and enjoy. By the way, if you're trying to attract children too, don't put entice on the side of your freaking truck.
Yeah.
There's nothing about. What's the ice cream man doing today in the neighborhood, Billy? He's enticing me to lick his unit. What? What? Unit 702?
Yes. These children are aroused.
Never
it.
seen him so.
But some on social media didn't take a minute to think before posting a video of the truck and starting a rumor that, for Settlemyre, wasn't too sweet.
Basically, be on the lookout. Las Vegas is using ice cream trucks as cover.
That's not crazy.
No, that's not
He
crazy.
deserves everything he gets.
Not one, it's not crazy, and two, even if the whole ice thing wasn't going on, still alert the authorities when this ding dong's driving around your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. He absolutely deserves all the hassle that he's getting.
Yes.
To catch illegal aliens.
The post quickly going viral, but as Settlemyre parked his truck near Lake Mead and Jones on Monday, the only ice here was the one with cream. Have you ever had this problem before?
No, not at all. People will ask me if I am law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. I'm a mechanic. I built the truck.
Not affiliated with any. By the way, could you go back? I don't know now if we have a worse quote than aroused of the only thing ice was cream. The way he that made me feel more uncomfortable than Grandpa Shooms with his arousal.
Truck near Lake Mead and Jones on Monday. The only ice here was the one with cream. Have you ever had this problem before?
No, not at all. People will ask me if I am law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. I'm a mechanic. I built the truck.
The truck even says there's no law enforcement affiliation, but Settlemyre says the damage is already done.
I feel like kind of like a target. The people have to stop and realize with social media how many people are going to see their video and the repercussions from it.
You got to think about the repercussions of decorating your stupid truck like a police van, and you're dressing like an undercover ATF agent.
And to put entice on the back instead of protect and serve.
Hello, I'm from Channel 8 here to talk to about your cream.
Yeah, that was a weird turn of phrase too. Ice with cream. God, why is everything so goofed?
It's dangerous.
Just act normal.
Now, on this 53-degree January day,
so I make sure that I roll through the neighborhoods for them.
Settlemyre wants to get out the message that there's nothing to fear here, except maybe brain freeze.
Thankfully, all of the wonderful customers I have in this neighborhood, they came to my defense, and I really appreciate that a lot.
Children come, I'm going to entice them with my sweet treats.
I got to go now. The junior high's letting out.
Right. It's going to go entice me some kids and buy some ice cream.
I mean, don't you just take a step back and go, all right, you know what? This thing should probably be bright pink with silly big smiley faces or something, not black and white with a badge.
I still can't get over the entice part. I'm stuck on that of never in a million years should anybody who's selling things specifically to children, correct, use entice in any of their slogans.
No, you're right.
What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? I drive a truck that looks like a paddy wagon through neighborhoods and entice children to eat my ice filled with cream, or whatever the weird turn of phrase was.
Right. Only made worse by the news anchors trying to just wedge some ridiculous pun in there about ice cream, and they can't do it. God almighty.
No. Yeah. And there he goes.
Sheriff Kevin McMahill telling the 80s Now investigators last week that his department is not partaking in any immigration roundups with ICE. So the moral here, take a closer look the next time you post or you share online. I'm David Sharns, 8 News Now.
Did he say? Did he say the S word there or share?
Before you share.
Okay, sounded like he did. So I thought he was going to do instead of taking a double scoop, take a double take.
That's
before
right.
Posting.
And a double.
That's what he should have done. God, why is it got to be so weird?
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't. At some point, one of his friends should have said, I don't know if that's a good idea. That's cute and all. I get the joke, but it's something's going to happen here. You're not going to like that.
You know what I want to do now, kind of. I want to send that guy and the hustler to Schumer's office to see how aroused he would get from having the 60-year-old stripper and that guy show up with his ice cream.
I'm going to keep at it. People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Correct. Yes. But that's what we try to do, folks. We try to arouse your curiosity.
If for any reason you need to hear this again, it's a podcast that's available wherever you get your podcasts. Or obviously, we've had a lot of video elements in this, so you should always catch it up. We'll post the clips on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel.
Yes, please do.
Like us on Facebook.
Ring the notification. Yeah, ring the notification bell on YouTube so you get the notifications when we go live and we do the show. Appreciate the support. Make sure you like it. The likes are important as well. Share it out there. We just love doing it and glad you could be a part of it.
Next week, I think we're going to be on Thursday evening instead of Wednesday evening, but we'll send a note about that here shortly.
And Lord knows what politicians will be saying what coming up here next week. We'll see if someone can up the arousal meter for Grandpa Shooms.